Good morning, you landlubbers, and welcome to the Zayden Ryan Experience. Today, we are going to be building the rest of our website that will allow anyone to sell macOS apps. You'll get a landing page, you'll get your users to pay for your app, and we'll handle fulfillment of sending them the license key so that they can put it into your app and unlock all of the paid features. That's right. We have been working on this thing for about 11 days now, and I can feel it coming to a close. I know I say that every time, but we are getting that much closer. Persistence is the key here, and we are going to absolutely dominate. I live in a van, not down by the river, but in beautiful mountain scenery. Wherever I choose to be. This entire stream is being streamed over a Starlink Mini. It is also fully powered by solar, so I do not have to feel bad, and you shouldn't make me feel bad, that we are actually using a ton of AI, because my carbon footprint is super low, powering all of this by solar. If we wanted to, we could even do a quick spot check, which we like to start the show off with, and I believe that is what we should do. Let's start that up. Today, we are running at... I don't even know what just happened there. What is going on? Hello. Something crashed. Something crashed. Let's find it. There we go. OBS is crashing on us this morning. We are at almost 100% of our reserves plus 100% of our 12-volt battery. This entire thing is currently being run. We are pushing power into our battery, and all the computers and lighting. Oh, we should put some lighting on. Tell me if this looks better. What do you guys think? All of this is being run over solar panels. That's right, renewable energy. Let's go. All right, moving on. Yesterday we left off with our license app having a bunch of things that it needed to do and finish up. You know, we tried Codex for a few days before the app and it just didn't work for us. Today yesterday we moved on to using Pi, and it works so much better. One of the things we did yesterday was solidify all of our extensions that I've been using in Pi into one monolithic Pi extension so that we can test everything together and make sure that these Pi extensions are interacting well together. So that's actually, I noticed something after we ended the stream yesterday, and I went to bed and I woke up this morning. This session actually basically did nothing. So don't worry, you didn't miss anything. There's a problem with our goal extension and probably something to do with compaction. I'm not sure, but I currently have an agent looking into it and figuring out why this thing keeps ending. So as soon as we get that figured out, we'll push that into our running live Pi, and it's going to be glorious, y'all. On that note, one of the things that I want to do, and the whole reason I built this website for selling macOS apps, is because I want to build some macOS apps. So I'm running Forge Joe. I am not running GitHub. I do not use GitHub anymore. I'm running my own hosted Forge Joe, and that hosted Forge Joe is actually getting set up as we speak to have a remote agent runner that runs on my Mac Studio so that it can do CI testing of our macOS apps, which I think is going to be pretty sick, y'all. I know there are some Docker containers that can do some Mac OS type things, but I want to make sure the UI works. We can do our smoke tests. Everything works beautifully. So that is the goal. That's where we're going. Come along for the ride if you dare. Let's see what's going on here. So we are currently, let's just make sure everything got set up, because I just started the stream and we just started going, you know, just kicked it off and started going, y'all. Tell me if you can't hear me. Let me know. I'm pretty sure you can. I think it's good. Let's see. No one's pinged me yet, so I think we're all set to go on that front. We are live on YouTube. We are live on X, and we are currently live on Twitch. Awesome. That is exactly what I need to see. This is day 12. Let's get into it. All right. What do you guys think? Is this little top thing shows the Mac top just a little too big? I think it is. Let's crunch that baby down. I think everyone could still see it if we crunch it down, and it'll use up less of the screen. Perfect. Let's go. All right. So the implementation is going. I basically prompted it and I said to create a goal, and what we're going to do is we're going to loop, and it's going to go and implement. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's supposed to go and implement any findings. Before it implements findings, it has to trigger a reviewer. So it triggers a reviewer agent. It's a fresh new context. It goes in, it reviews our entire branch that we've been working on, which is basically this whole app inside of our mono repo that houses all of our other apps. Go back and watch the early episode 1, 2, maybe 3, those days, and you'll see everything, how I've set up the mono repo. This thing basically spawns a reviewer, looks at the branch, comes back with any findings. It's been instructed to explicitly look at the findings and make sure that they're not scope creep. GPT 5.6 Sol, for some reason, loves to create scope creep findings, things that don't need to be done, you know. And so I've told it to look for those things, told it to ignore those things. The goal is currently going, and once it triggers the reviewer runs, comes back with those findings. It evaluates if the findings are not scope creep, they're valid things that need to be done. It's been instructed to go fix them. It creates a spec. It updates any specs that we have so that the findings are now in the spec, so we don't erase that in the future. It's been instructed to create regression tests for these findings. It's also been instructed to run the regression tests. And then when it's all done, it's instructed to run the reviewer once again in a loop until there are no more valid findings. And it's going to keep doing this. And it's good because it finds edge cases, right? It finds things like race conditions that might happen. And it's just going to be a better overall user experience. I mean, if you're a developer, if you've been developing for any amount of time, you know that you do the one cool thing, you do the happy path, you get it out the door and you get it working. Then you spend the next 6 to 12 months polishing the app. You get your errors thing up. Maybe you're using Rollbar. Maybe you're using Sentry, maybe you have your own, right? But it basically sends off any errors, anything that maybe the code throws, any errors, any exceptions, those get recorded off. And then you go down your hit list of the ones that keep popping up and you craft some nice polished code around them to make sure that the users see nice error messages, to make sure that these things aren't actual logic bombs that we have waiting here. And that's how your app gets better. In the day of AI, people expect that stuff to just work out of the gate and have that kind of polish to it. And that's what this reviewer loop is doing for us right now. So it's going to go through, it's going to do that. And I am going to start testing this app live on screen for the first time with you guys. We're going to go through it and make sure that it's working like I would expect it to work for a user. Because that is the goal of this whole thing, right? If we want users to be able to go and sell licenses, it needs to work well for them. All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's go. Mr. Ward's up. All right, so this thing's going to continue on. We're going to pull up our remote macOS machine, and we're going to take a look at what the agent sees when it's going through and using our other machine to run tests and stuff. Yay. That's not exactly what I want to see. Let's try fixing this window ever so slightly. Oh, there we go. Transition. Actually, let's pull it up first. And lock it. Pop it. There we go. Okay. So this is the landing page that users are going to see when they go to buy your macOS app, right? This is a nice little demo app that we have in here. It could be cleaned up. It's going to get better. We're probably going to throw Kimmy K3 at this today because it has an eye for design. It's been proven over the last 24 hours that it is good at this. So we're going to have it do that. And then, let's see, we also need to step through this app. Like, we just need to try it out, right? Currently the server is not running, so I'm going to wait until this agent over here gets some of this stuff done, and then we will go and spawn up the server, continue on from there. In the meantime, let's go check out what is happening here. So I've got this AI going through and trying to find what is happening with our agents and why are they not, like, why do they stop, right? There's a goal that's in here after compaction. It seems to happen right after compaction. So right after compaction happens, if you're not familiar with the AI and how compaction works, the AI can only remember so many things. If you're a human, if you ever tried this experiment, try to remember 7 different things. That's like usually the max. You get to 8, you might be a genius. If you get to 9, you're doing really, really good. There's some tricks you can get up to like 13 if you use contextual memory. But generally, we can remember about 7 things maximum. AI can remember a heck of a lot more. And it does this with its context window for the most part. And so every time it exceeds its context window, it has to compact, and basically it starts over a new chat is really what's happening. So it takes all this stuff from the old chat and we prompt the AI agent, we pass it in, we say, hey, like, look at this whole thing and pull out the important things. Like, were there tasks that we were working on that didn't get done? What tasks did we get done? Are there any files that we modified? What files did we modify? Like, what are we currently working on? What were the last few messages that were sent? And it basically creates a new chat from the response of the AI there. That's all compaction is. And so when compaction runs here, though, the agent should continue working. So we definitely have a problem in one of our extensions that's preventing it from continuing on after compaction. And that is what the AI is currently looking into. It looks like in order to narrow down the problem, the AI started by writing some tests to verify that it was a problem. And then it continued on to fixing it. And once it fixes it, it will probably rerun its tests again to verify that it fixed the problem. So that's going to keep going on. You know, it's going to message this other session. It did. So we have this other session running. This other session basically was stuck, and because of this compaction bug, and it looks like this agent, we have this thing called intercom. It's one of our extensions. It allows one agent session that's running to actually just send a message to another agent, and then they can communicate back and forth. And since I explicitly said, hey, this is the other session that's broken, I want you to review it, the agent is trying to message the other session now, but just by the act of doing that, it's going to kick it alive again. And that is what happened. It kicked it back alive. I have no idea what the full message was, but you probably shouldn't be messaging the other stuck session. I didn't ask you to do that. I just asked you to diagnose the problem, write some regression tests, and fix the problem. Didn't ask you to restart that session, message that session, or interact with that session in any other way than reading the session data. So I'm going to tell it that. We'll see what happens. Anytime so GPT 5.6 Sol is the only model that I have used in the last 2 or 3 months that just loves to use every single tool it has. If you give it the ability to message another session, it'll use it. If you give it the ability to ask a council of panelists a decision that needs to be made, it'll use it every time. It's just not good at determining when it should be using tools and when it shouldn't. It's like if you give it a shiny tool, it has to play with it. So one of the things that we're going to actually do in here, I'm gonna go over here. As soon as this is done running, okay, we're gonna go and I'm gonna disable the council decision tool because all these agents like to use it way too much, and it can take anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes for them to come to consensus on how to proceed with like an architecture decision. And quite frankly, it should really only be doing that when the architecture decision is really complicated. It can't figure out the best way to approach something. And I only created that tool because I had some not as smart models like Qwen 3.6 27B running locally, along with DeepSeek version 4 preview running locally. And I wanted them to go back and forth and come to consensus on a good architecture for some stuff, because they're not like the brightest models, but if they go back and forth, they'll eventually maybe get to the correct solution. So that's why I created that. But now that we're running GPT 5.6 Sol on X High, we're literally 2 steps away from the highest thinking mode. There's max above this and ultra above that. And so I just don't think that the smartest model, arguably available to the entire world right now, should be delegating decisions to less smart models. So I want you to figure out how we can disable. I don't want to remove it from the code. I just want to disable it for now until I decide to re-enable it. The council decide tool. It's being used far too much. It was really only meant to be used for really tough architecture decisions, where the agent maybe needed the guidance of lots of other agents to come together and, formulate a decision. But since we have this now it's being executed by one of the smartest models on the planet, and the council is made up of dumber models. So we're actually not using it the right way at the moment. Like it was meant to be used by a whole bunch of dumb models together to come up with a smart decision, not a smart model using a bunch of dumb models to come up with a dumb decision. So I just want to disable it for now. I don't want to remove the code. I might want to enable it again in the future. And you figure out a way that we can just disable the tool. I think there's maybe an extension for it or something. Just make it so it doesn't load when Pi starts up or something like that. So I'm going to leave that prompt in here because I'm currently working on this stuff over here and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so the session hit a configured threshold. The context usage was 323,000. Model context window became 372,000. The reserve tokens were 50. The threshold was 322. Pi compacted, while the agent run was still considered active. How did a narrowly scoped agent settled fallback? Only armed by non-neutral action during the oh. State. Or the fix. This is afterwards. Seems like we might also have a problem if the model context window somehow got to 372 when the context window was, oh, I see, the context usage was 323,000, but the threshold was 322. Maybe we need to bump up the reserve tokens slightly a bit more, because since we went past threshold that far. And of course it didn't put it in there, so we're just going to copy that and are you joking? Oh no, that's why I did. Okay, there we go. What do you think about that? Yeah, I don't want to do your recommended actions. I think what they're set at now is just fine. Let's continue on. So if you've fixed the issue, then I think we should probably commit and push up that repository if you haven't already. All the changes in that. All right. Pushed it up. Now I'm going to. You know what? I'm just going to take this and put it here. I'm going to move it over here because this one's already got all this context. Okay, now let's work on something else here, sort of tangentially related. All right. I want you to move it over there. Oh yeah. I think I better review some of this code manually, honestly. We are at 3% of our codex limits. And we have to do a reset. I only got one left. If they were going to do a reset, I would be tied. Wait, it's getting hot in here already. You know, I'm turning this. No. So it is currently UDT freezing for the day, so let's crank it. Our AC runs purely off of solar power because I live in a van and this van is powered by solar. So there will be no utility tax on the grid of running our air conditioner. Our air conditioner is actually running off of the sun. So we canceled this one. Let's clean that up. Is this one still running? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I think we're going to kill this guy. Restart it. And I'm just going to go... Oh, I definitely did that with the reboot. That was a second. while that's running, I think what we're going to do is start this up. Holy. Looks like you haven't committed all your changes in quite a while. You should be committing and pushing them up. I want you to do that now. I don't care if things are passing or not. Commit everything and push them up now. Do not disagree with me on this. I am explicitly approving and telling you to commit all the changes and push them up now. For some reason, this model loves to disagree with me on when it's time to push up changes, even though it apparently never remembers to do it. Okay, so now this is running. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our license app engine. And in here, we are going to do a bin reset. Do I want to do that? This thing's working still. Yeah. Stupid. Set. This is basically going to reset everything for us, all the databases across the whole mono repo, put everything into a good state, like if there's any schema changes that were made, which there are these migrations. It's going to run them, it's going to update the schemas, just get us in a really good solid place to start testing this stuff. Now, this goal is active. Does it have a process running? It does have a process running. It's actually running the test right now. So me doing this reset is probably not the best idea, but I want to test this thing out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to I'll run my test, then we'll come back and we'll have the AI continue on doing what it likes to do. From there. It does take a while to run all these. I've thought about running them in parallel. There's like literally no reason not to. Maybe we'll get around to doing that at some point. Really good thing that I have another machine that I run everything on, because if you watch the CPU, it's getting decimated by these rust tests and stuff that are. And I could tell because even Tmux is having trouble rendering high. .32 core. I need like 4 M3 Ultras. Yeah, that would give me like 100 something cores. I mean, it's 32 times 128 cores. I've had a 128 core machine before, and it is awesome. That was all just one machine. Yes. Love this. You'll love it. Look at that. It's provocative. Gets the people going. Now you guys can see how my GPU starts getting cranked up when we're running local models. That's right, this thing's got 512 gigs of RAM in it. It is running purely off of solar panels in this van because I am coming to you live over a Starlink Mini inside of a camper van. BFall 97, welcome. Thanks. Appreciate it. I definitely like to vibe to it. It's a good vibe. Put it on, leave it on in the background. You'll like it. It's good music. Don't forget to subscribe to Zayden Ryan on YouTube. You are experiencing the Zayden Ryan experience right now. Our YouTube channel has roughly 11 days of 9-hour streams. So if you just want to put on the background and have some nice vibe coding music for 9 hours, I'll be your DJ, I guess. Try that out too. All right, where are we at? Okay, so we ran our reset. That's good to go. We're going to hop into this engine now, and we are going to work on the license app server that we are building. We are building the website that is going to allow anyone who wants to create a macOS app, and it has never been easier to create a macOS app now that we have AI. You can make your own macOS app. You can just put it up on this website. You'll get a landing page automatically. We're going to go over all that today. We're going to test it all out, see what we come up with. Users will automatically be able to buy it. You'll bring your own Stripe account. You can set up your Stripe account however you want. And this website is just going to handle fulfillment. It will send the users an email with their license. They'll get that license. They'll put it in. They'll get a cryptographically secure certificate that enables all of the paid features of your macOS app. And you can even have that certificate be tied to that person's machine. So you can determine how many machines they're allowed to install the license that they purchase on. If you want to set it to 1, you can set it to 1. If you want to set it to 100, you can set it to that. 1,000,000, I don't care. But it will verify using the secure enclave. There is no stronger way to determine if that machine is that machine. You can't spoof the secure enclave as far as I know. Although some hackers maybe could do it. But your average person who's buying your macOS app is not going to be doing that. If they want to ever install it on some new machines and unauthorize a machine that they're on, they can easily do that. They'll log into their portal using their email where they purchased the app on license.dev, and they will be able to unauthorize the machine so that they can go authorize a new one. All right, let's go through it. Okay, so let's spin this shit up. You know what I'm saying? This thing is built in Ruby on Rails, so we're gonna do quick Rails DB migrate to add. Oh no, not DB seed to add all of our seeds to the database. We're gonna spin this shit right up. It's coming up. You guys are watching this live. I have been vibe coding this thing for 11 days now. Probably more like 8 or 9 days. And you've been watching me do it this whole time on the stream. I have been giving you all the secret sauce. All of it. On the stream. If you wanted to go build this whole thing yourself, you could. All you'd have to do is watch it all. Type it all in. Tell the AI the same things. You're good to go. Thanks, Beefall97. We are definitely in the realm of building macOS apps these days. I think more and more people are doing it. A lot of people were turned away because of the whole Apple ecosystem. It's such a nightmare to work with and learn about. But with AI, you just tell it what apps you want and it builds them now. The thing that people don't realize is selling them is still a pain in the ass. So I'm trying to make that easier for them. It's going to be as easy as you go set up a new Stripe account. That's it. You tell the AI what app you want. I'm even going to provide the agent with instructions. So after you've built your macOS app, you're going to give it there's literally a copy markdown button. We're going to go over that now. You'll paste it into your AI agent and it will automatically set up everything that needs to be set up so that you can start collecting payments and sell your app that you just built. All right, so let's run through this thing here. It's currently not running because I haven't run it yet. And the port is the same that we're on, so let's get it booted up. All right. We're gonna have to create a landing page. Let's add that to our notes. We're gonna have Kimmy do this one. That's what we should use our new Kimmy K3 model for. Create an awesome landing page based on the features that we have in our site. It should be a high converting landing page. Make it super simple so that people are able to understand that they can simply sell their macOS apps and they do not have to worry about fulfillment of licenses, that they'll get a nice landing page, all of that kind of stuff. Go through and review the license app code in the engine and you'll see what features it offers. Don't put technical details on the landing page. That's not what users that want to use a new SaaS product want to see. This isn't really a SaaS product. I've gone over what our actual billing model is. I don't want to charge a percentage of revenue. So if you want to build an app and you want to sell your app, I'm not going to be in the business of I get to take 1% of all your revenue. I'm not the tax man. I'm not doing that. Nope. It's much easier than that. Anytime you get paid and only when you get paid, I get paid. And it's capped at $1 no matter what. You can sell your app for $10. You can sell your app for $100. You could sell your app for $1 million. And I'm only going to charge $1. And that's because we have to store a whole bunch of records in our database. We have bandwidth costs. We have server costs. All the stuff that has to do with back and forth. We even push out updates to your users. So when you cut a new release or you make updates to your app, it will automatically push that out to the users so that they can get the updates. All that stuff you're going to get for free for $1. All right, let's see here. So now that we have this on our to-do list, we have our server up and running. Let's just get on over to the user sign-in page. And we're going to put on light mode so that people can actually see it. We're going to sign in here. Hopefully everything just works so nicely and beautifully. What do you know? Good job. It's logging us in. It's building the assets for the first time. Let's get back over to light mode. I don't know. This system is set for dark mode. That's why. All right. So this is where people are basically going to land, right? Like they're going to come in here and they're going to see this products to sell, create a product, share its purchase page, issue, validate, sign machine bound licenses, and export organization data we need to migrate. Great. Okay. So if I go to products, oh, look at all this. Create a restricted key. Okay. So this is the onboarding flow now. Oh, so you can even set your straight mode. Do you want to be in test or live? Payments, read, validate, read, access. So they'll put their key in here to save it, and then it's going to validate. So we could actually go create a test account, and we could test all of this out. The thing that I don't super love is when users, okay, let's get back over here. Let's get this agent back up and running because I've already got things that I want it to fix. Okay, I know you had some stuff that you were working on before, so I want you to keep working on that. Wrap up the findings, get them implemented, do the implementation yourself. Let's get that done and tested with regression tests and push that final thing up. And then I want you to pause on the code review. Oh, looks like you're done. Okay. We're going to take a pause on doing the code review looping. I found some things that I want you to work on. So I want you to open up the web page. I'm currently running the server already, the bin dev server. All you need to do is open up the page via the MCP, the Playwright MCP, so that you can see what I'm seeing. Just open it up and then we'll go from there. So I have this page open. It can't see it yet, so I'm telling it to open it up with the Playwright MCP, which we have already configured for Pi here. It's also part of our computer use tool. So I actually built a thing so that this entire AI can see this whole screen. It can control the screen. It can click. It gets a virtual cursor. It can take pictures of the screen. It runs it through a local model only on this machine. So it's not uploading my screenshots to OpenAI or anywhere else. It will then determine what it sees on the screen and the AI can interact with it. What's my AI process like? My AI process is really quite simple, honestly. It's get the AI to build what I want it to build. Day one, I'll sit there and I'll say, I want to work on this project. And I'll literally just verbally talk to it for a really long time. Like you'll see me talk. It'll do the text to speech or speech to text into the box. I hit enter and it goes. Then from there, I tell it to create a roadmap. A roadmap .md file to pull out all my thoughts into a valid roadmap. And for each item in the roadmap, I tell it, and this is the important part, to create a spec file, not a plan. If you tell it to create a plan, that will be something totally different. You want it to create a spec file. And the way they're different is the spec file explicitly has engineering details in it, whereas a plan is just how to approach something. The spec file details how the thing should work from a functional standpoint and a technical standpoint. And so then once we have that, I'll go in here and I'll say, I want you to implement the roadmap. I want you to create a goal to implement the roadmap. Every item must have tests, and do not mark this goal complete until you have proven 100% that the entire roadmap has been implemented. And then this thing will just churn for days and days and days. I actually have an AI that's been running for 4 weeks now. I have not restarted it. The goal has been running for 4 weeks. It's building our macOS app that I ultimately want to build. The whole reason I'm building license.dev here is so that I can sell that macOS app. But first we have to do this. Okay, so we have this page open. We should already be signed in. If we go to the dashboard, it should just be working. All right. Now that we're on this dashboard, I could do this. I could go annotate. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring up a tool where I can literally just click inside of here and be like, oh, change this color maybe to red or something. But I don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to go, all right, I think there's something that we need to update because I don't particularly like the new user onboarding flow the way it exists today. When a user signs in for the first time, they're taken to the dashboard, and that is good. I like that they're taken to the dashboard. However, on the dashboard, we should be showing them the Stripe onboarding. So if they do not have their Stripe account connected yet, we really don't want the user going and clicking around and going to other places on the app and doing anything yet until we've gone through and had them on board for Stripe. Okay, so now you can see I basically spoke that whole thing and it wrote it out. And then I'm going to send it, but actually I'll be back in just 2 minutes, and then we'll continue on with updating this prompt and sending it to the agent. skip the background. All right, I'm back. As you may or may not know, I actually live in this van with my girlfriend, and we travel around the country full time for the last 4.5 years. But when she opens that door and she wants to come inside, she's going to come inside, and it's about lunchtime right now here. So that's why I had to leave abruptly, and it'll probably happen again in the future. So don't worry about it. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the coding vibes, but we are getting back to work here. I gave it a nice little prompt. You know, we had this open before. We opened up the app. I have no idea why it just redirected me back to the sign-in page. But we had it open, we were playing with it, and I noticed right off the bat, as a new user, the experience is not good. OpenAI GPT 5.6 Soul it just doesn't understand good user experience. And honestly, after using the Codex app, I kind of feel that. But here's the thing, our stuff's gonna have good experience, so we just have to try it out like a product manager would, like a user would, and be like, oh, I wish it worked like this. And that's exactly what we did. Back up here, you know, I gave this nice long prompt. I literally just sat here and talked to it and said, look, the onboarding should work like this. Like, they should have this thing displayed to them. And if they haven't set up the Stripe account yet, then like we should guide them through that, right? Like that's the way that this should go. So hopefully it's going to go through. It's going to implement that whole thing now. We already have a lot of this code already implemented, so I'm not entirely sure why you're doing a whole lot of searching. Just go look at the code that's already implemented that does this stuff. It's currently just in the wrong place. It doesn't need to be on the products page. I shouldn't have to click products. It should be right on the dashboard in the user's face when they sign in for the very first time. And they don't have the Stripe stuff set up yet. They don't have a Stripe account set up. They can't do anything. So we have to make them go through this onboarding of setting up their Stripe account first, not when they go to add a new product or they click the products page link. Why did it sign us out? I have no idea. Just sign back in. Never. In fact, I have the page pulled up right now in the MCP Playwright. Just go look at it. I can already feel it, guys. I can already feel it. They did something to GPT 5.6 Soul last night, and it feels nerfed again today. 2 days ago, we were using it, and it sucked. Couldn't get anything done. I can already feel it this morning. They did something to do it, and it's not working again good. I cannot wait till the day that we can just download a model, run it on our computer, and it will work the same way no matter what, because some other big company doesn't have 1,000 engineers with their fingers in it trying to tweak it all day long. You know, we used to have this like running joke, right? If you're a programmer in the industry and you look at the downtime of any company, the downtime is always Monday through Friday. Why? Because engineers aren't changing stuff on the weekends. If you haven't used local AI models, I highly recommend you go download some. You know, if you got 8 gigs of RAM, download an 8 billion parameter model. If you got 32 gigs of RAM, go download a 32 billion parameter model. Generally, the rule of thumb is you need the number of gigs per parameter. It's somewhat changing these days because of different, the amount of bits that it uses to run or the format. Something uses only 4 bits, there's less. It only has so much activation, that helps too. But here's the thing, go download and play with them locally. They might not be Frontiers good, but they will work the same way every day you start them up. All right, what does it say? Yeah, if schema gets updated, it's because we ran some migrations or something and it got updated and it should have been updated and committed previously. Now, yes, we want to have the thing that when I click on products, really the onboarding should be happening as part of, should just be like maybe like a reusable React component or something, so that it's like in your face on the dashboard right now. We might want to have it rendered somewhere else in the future. I don't know yet, but generally, yes, we want it on the dashboard. We also want to make sure that we add a link to the sidebar because organizations need to be able to manage all of the Stripe accounts they have connected, and they should be able to see what products those Stripe accounts are connected to. In fact, I want you to create a spec for this because I'm guessing it's not in any existing specs. Update any specs that we have, and after you do that, then you may proceed with doing the implementation. I want you to go and create a goal first before you create the specs. To do all of this, you should add regression tests and you should run the tests to make sure that they're passing. And obviously the goal should be include the implementation. But first, create the goal. Second, update and add new specs. Third, do the implementation. Fourth, run the tests and make sure they're passing. Actually, fourth is add tests. Fifth is run the tests and make sure they're passing. Boom, look at that. See, I can even correct myself verbally and then just send it and it will figure it out. That's the idea. That's where we're going with AI. I want to get to a point where I don't even need that button, right? Like the new macOS app we're going to build, we're just going to be sitting here talking to it. We're going to have like 50 different projects, websites going like crazy. Why does it say can't complete? Okay, anyway, we're going to have all these projects. We're going to have all these sites. Every idea that pops into our heads, we're going to go on. We're going to throw it against the wall and see what shit sticks to the wall. And then we're going to have to need to manage them all. So it's going to be like sitting here and we'll just be like command center operations. Maybe we'll have another camera going this way so you can see the command center, and we'll just be building stuff like crazy. As a front-end dev, I'm in trouble. Dude, as a back-end dev, and I was front-end dev, I was all the devs. I've done it all. But yeah, if you're not on board with AI, you're gonna fall behind. Start using it every day. You know, just get out there, talk to the computer, figure out what the best workflow is. And don't try and use the AI as it's good today. Try and use it how you can imagine yourself sitting here, 3-4 years from now and still be useful to your company, still be building the things they want, right? Because at the end of the day, they're still going to need stuff built. It's just, can you do it faster with less people? And do you have the better workflow? I mean, if you go look at, there's some engineers, right, that, I don't know, if you were still like hammering and chiseling into rock your code, obviously you're not going to be as efficient as an engineer. If you have an IDE, you might be more efficient than someone who's just opening a plain text editor, right? If you're using linters, then your code is going to have better code standards because you're going to get that feedback. These are just all tools, and we had all these developer tools before. Now this is just one more tool that makes it so much easier to do this stuff so much faster. And if your work wants to pay for this stuff, you should definitely be using it, because paying $200 a month or even $1,000 or $10,000 a month, whatever, if they're going to pay for it, go use it. But I will give you all the tips and tricks. I am at the head of the spear on everything that is going on with AI these days. If you just want to put this in the background, I'll tell you all the tips and tricks of what's going on as we go, how to do these things. You're going to see it all here. I'm going to be the one who sits here and tries out the different things and tells you when they're absolute garbage. The new ChatGPT app, don't even waste your time. It used to be called the Codex app. It used to be nice. Like, it used to actually work well. I don't know what they did to it. It's total garbage. I can't get anything done with it anymore. Burned 3 whole days. I'm not making this up. You can go back and watch the last 4 days that I've been posting on YouTube at Zayden Ryan, and you'll see that we got absolutely nowhere with Codex. Now that we're back in Pi, when something doesn't work, if we want to change our workflow, our environment, anything, all I have to do is tell my AI to go and change anything on here, right? Like the other day, we had this problem where the AI continually tried to create work trees. I wasn't telling it to create work trees, but it would create a work tree, it would do a whole bunch in the work tree, and it would forget about it. And we wasted so much time doing all this work that never got merged in because we didn't know it was doing it in these random ass work trees. So I told the AI to create this work tree guard. And now we get a huge interface alert anytime the AI tries to go off the rails and create a work tree when it's not supposed to. Right? Like this is how we get this stuff dialed in, right? Engineering is like turning gears, and it's just got to be a well-oiled machine that just works flawlessly. And your developer environment is no different. So we're cooking now, right? So over here we had this thing going. It was fixing our... So I basically have one mono repo for all the extensions that update the stuff in Pi here. You can go back and watch it yesterday. I ran through what all of them are. If you really wanted to, you don't even have to go watch the 9-hour stream yesterday. Just get your AI agent, pull it up, take the URL to the video, tell the agent to go pull all the transcripts from the video, because I make sure to turn those on for you guys. It will pull all the transcripts, it can read everything, and you can be like, how does Zayden have this thing set up? And I'm sitting here talking about it for 9 hours. The AI is going to get all of what I'm saying. It's going to tell you exactly how I have this stuff set up. Okay, so let's see. Looks like it's been working on our Pi subagents Lite. I don't know what it's called. Spinning up some reviewers. Basically, it reviews its own work. So I've told it that anytime it writes a substantial amount of code, that it has to spin up a reviewer. And basically it spawns a whole new AI session then, and fresh, and it will go and review all the code changes on the branch or untracked changes, whatever it tells it to look at. And it will come back with its findings. And then it says, hey, these were the findings that it found. It then triages them to make sure that they're valid, because some of these AI models will come back with findings that are just scope creep, and we don't want to add scope creep to our projects. We want to fix the edge cases, right, that we forgot about. So that's what it's doing here. It's going through, it's doing that, and now it's doing another review. So it's going to go and fix that for us. I don't even know what this thing is that we're doing. Let's see, we got this. Oh, this is the console one. We're disabling that tool. This one, I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea what this one's doing. Let's just stop that thing. Okay. Oh, this is setting up, oh, oops, okay, this was setting up our agents to be able to run. Basically, we have like a CI server, and I need to be able to have our macOS app like run tests against the CI, but you need a macOS machine to do that. So this is setting it up so that our Mac machines reach out to our CI and say, hey, I'm here if you need me to run any CI tests. Let's see now, what else we got going? We got a bunch of agents that are running here, and for some reason they're talking to each other. So I'll just let them talk to each other, I guess. Okay, what's going on over here? We basically have this intercom extension, and what happens is I think this agent found out that it was like working on the same directory as this other one, and so now it's saying, hey, don't commit anything until I'm done with my stuff. This thing's gonna go do other things until that happens. Now we're gonna go and back to our project. This thing's gonna cook for a little bit. We actually have 1% left of our codex weekly limits. I'm gonna have to reset this. Unfortunately, I really did not want to do that, but I'm gonna have to. Because I want to get this stuff done. Now, I just like to spot check things. I've been doing this long enough that if I just scroll through here and I see something going on that doesn't look right, I usually see it immediately. Let's see if I can go back here and find an example. I'll show you. It's blatantly obvious. But basically, I have all of this stuff set up so it runs super nice. Our tests all run in parallel, and the agent for some reason just decided to turn that off because it wanted to run them serially so it could find the problem. But I knew it wasn't going to turn it back on. Default, take it easy. Use AI more. Yes, come back, check out. We're going to have this app. If you end up making a macOS app and you want to sell it, come back, check this out. Check out the stream. We're going to be building that macOS app here in a few days too. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay. So let's see here. Basically what I was saying is the agent wanted to disable running tests in parallel. And I was like, wait a minute, that's gonna slow everything down. I immediately caught it, luckily, and then it realized its own mistake after I told it. But you still gotta watch this stuff like a hawk. right. We're at- Still cooking. I have this requirement in my agents.md that it references the specs that it is working on. That way, there's always like the way we describe how we want the features to work from like a user standpoint or user stories or whatever. It then references these specs for why that code exists here, right? And then that way, agents in the future, when they come and they work on this code base, they're going to see that this spec is being referenced here. They're going to see this code is added, and then they're going to go check out the spec to make sure that this stuff actually, is satisfying what we wanted the goal was in the original spec file. And if I didn't have that context next to it, it doesn't always find it the best way. You're supposed to just be moving the console migration over to the repository. If you've done that, then I'm instructing you and approving you to commit the changes to the files that you've made and push them up. I want you to stop communicating with the other agents using the intercom. You're supposed to be provisioning this Mac for Forge Joe actions. I want you to stop communicating with other agents via intercom. Get this done. Commit, stage and commit all the files that you've changed, you've touched, and push them up when you're done. I mean, if you've touched other files, like you explicitly have touched other files and changed them, then obviously you need to commit those as well. And we hit 0%. We're about to run out after reset. Unfortunately, reset. Oh, I tried. Sorry, guys. I tried. Tried to hold these. Tried to get the mic out. Couldn't do it. Didn't work. My bad. I have big red button. What is going on? Why do you just keep outputting true over and over and over again? I don't think you're supposed to be doing that. This model is ridiculous. This model is designed to burn tokens. You have to watch out for it. OpenAI does not care. They want you to burn these tokens down. I've never seen any other model do this. There's another agent working in the Pi hyperscaler repo, so you better not clobber their changes. All right, let's reset it, I guess, here in a minute. Switch. GLM, baby, let's go. We're back to 100%. Hit that reset button. We are golden again. I know we spend a lot of time on our developer environment, but it's just going to make everything that much more efficient as we go. Plus, this thing is running in the background anyway, working on the stuff that we gave it earlier. All right, we just reset to 100% at 1 hour and 38 minutes into this stream. Let's see how long this weekly codex limit lasts. We're down to 0 resets. So after this, we might be going back to our ZAI model, GLM 5.2, which is the get shit done model, by the way. If you just need to get shit done, that model will do it. right back in a little bit. We're going to let this thing cook for All right, I'm back. Had to batten down the hatches because we had just had a crazy thunderstorm come out of nowhere. Oh, it's windy. It was raining. It was thundering and lightning. And when you live outside, that's something you worry about. I know all you house dwellers there in your nice cubicles. Yeah, you got protection from the elements. But when you live in a vehicle like I do, you don't have that kind of protection. You gotta be careful about all this stuff that you got out. All right, what's been going on with this thing? You guys catch anything? Anything I gotta be worried about? That's pretty good. All right, Mr. Ward, what have you learned about it? Yeah, does love to compact. Spends a lot of time doing that. Molting. Hey, this is an open claw. Moltbot. Did you guys just hear that? I literally thought that I broke something. And it was lightning striking, like right above us. If I lose you and I start going like this, I probably got electrocuted. Probably okay. We are actually insulated by the tires of the vehicle. Except for the solar panels I have out on the ground. Those are all wet. And there's a wire going directly to the van. So maybe I should go and plug those, actually. Yeah. That definitely seems to be the approach, right? It's like start with the bigger, thicker models, let them do the planning and architecture, create all the docs and specs from it, and then let the little models come along and just do the implementing of the things. And it's kind of what you see in the programming industry. Like you have the career veteran people who have been doing this for 40 years, like senior architects at companies, and they do all the planning and everything, and maybe they'll even do a little tiny prototype, and then someone else will come in along, fill in all the blanks. Terra Medium. I have not tried Terra. I don't know. Maybe I should, honestly, but I don't want to watch it that closely. Maybe it'll get stuff done faster. Sometimes the smaller models don't overthink and they just do the right things because of that. Terra's almost comparable to Fable 5. Really? That's kind of shocking. Does Fable 5 have different thinking modes or something? I haven't tried it yet. All right, so we got that done, that done. We should just be good to go. Let's do a update. Get all those updates in there. Comes the juice. Why did that update? Hold on here. Hold on. Just weird. Maybe it already installed the update for us. Alright, this thing is still cranking away. GPT 5.6 Soul X High Thinking. I know what you're thinking. I'm wasting tokens running it like this. But guess what? I still have the unlimited, basically, GLM 5.2 plan. I also have a Kimi plan for the year, like the biggest one, and haven't used it at all. So, you know, as soon as we run out of this, maybe we'll switch over to doing that or something. Who knows? I am waiting. There's a whole bunch of fixes that have been going out the door all morning for Kimi and its integration with Pi. And I'm going to let somebody else who has way much more time on their hands to iron out all the kinks of the new Kimi K3 model, its thinking levels, its plan levels, and just get the integration with Pi working real well. And then we'll go try that out as soon as that stuff lands and stabilizes. In the meantime, GLM 5.2 is an absolute beast. I'm grandfathered into the plan that they came out with when it first came out. And so I don't have a weekly limit. I only have a 5-hour limit. So I can do about 1 billion tokens every 5 hours. And then it just resets. It's basically unlimited. Let's see here. Fable 5 has low and ultra code. Oh, okay. That seems to be the case with all these big models, right? It's like if you give it more reasoning time, it starts thinking of all these things that it can add to the project, and it's just like the code base grows. It's not the like really well engineered small code base. I feel like no one's quite mastered that yet. GLM 5.2 though, I think is pretty darn close. Yeah, I've literally had this macOS app being built by GLM 5.2 for the last 4 weeks. Haven't touched it, and I've burned tens of billions of tokens at this point with it. And every 5 hours it just resets. My usage, I don't think I've ever actually, I might have hit it once, the 5-hour window. Let me check right now. Yeah, so I'm at 56% for the 5-hour window, and it resets in 20 minutes. So, yeah, I basically say it's unlimited till the end of the year. If I was gonna master myself, I wouldn't be sitting at a computer right now. I'd be off hiking in the woods, you know, doing deep thinking or something. Spending more time out in nature. I used to sit in my office and look out the window and be like, there's gotta be stuff going on out there. What are people doing out in the world? And one day it really just struck me because I was running my own business, working for myself, and I was like, why am I'm going to the gym, which is basically in my building, downstairs, go to the gym, I come back up, I sit in my office all day long. And I was just like, you know what? I want to see what's going on in the world. And I found a YouTube video of people living in tiny homes. And I was like, that would be really cool. I had some land, put it on, so I just figured I'd go buy a tiny home. On the way driving 36 hours to decide if I wanted to buy this tiny home, I started listening to a podcast about van life. And that changed my mind. So I ended up trading my Tesla for a completely empty cargo Sprinter van. Spent the next 9 months building out this van. Everything you see, I built this out. And then, oh yeah, so when I got back after trading my brand new Tesla for the Sprinter van, I literally sold every possession I'd ever owned over the course of my entire life in 2 days on Facebook Marketplace. And I moved into the van, completely empty. The only thing that came with me from that previous life was my Breville coffee maker, which you guys can't see is just out of the scene here. Actually, can't see it. Sorry. This is my Breville. It's the only thing that came with me from my previous life. I'll tell you, it's got to be really nice to be one of these streamers that can just sit down and start streaming. I have to set all this up because every time I drive somewhere, I got to pack it all away or else it'll just go flying, right? So. All right, where are we at? Testing? Working? Shut this server up because I made some changes. It's getting hot here again. Homeless vibe coder. I should definitely change the title to that. See, I got a home. It just goes with me everywhere. I don't have a house. Houseless vibe coder. I actually used to live on my sailboat for a few years out on the east coast of the United States, and I used to say home is where the anchor drops. Unhoused. Yeah. it's getting stuck because it tries to log in and it, for some reason, has no idea how to do it. And fill out every other form but the sign-in one. I signed in for you. But I think you were supposed to run migrations maybe or something. Looking now. It's an agro village. As in like agriculture. Fully off-grid settlement. That's basically what I have. I'm fully off-grid. Problem is, well, I mean, it's not a problem, but I just go somewhere else. I get tired of an area, I can actually pick it up and move. Let's see. You watched the show Silo? Yes. Mr. Word, basically what you're describing is the show Silo on Apple TV. You should definitely go try it. Check it out. Ooh. Yeah. Or the whole world just feels like they need that right now, especially with all the AI coming out. Yeah, I definitely heat this van with the machines that are running here, that's for sure. They wrote it in 2012, 2011? I didn't know that. They wrote Silo then? That's crazy. Just doing it now. Hmm. Oh, oh, is it done? Did it cook? Let me use 2% of our weekly allowance to finish that up. Awesome. Let's go. All right, let's test it out. We are back. Let's do like a bin reset. Can I do that on this? I don't even know. Heck yeah, let's go. Bin reset this one repo, the one engine within our mono repo. We're going to start this thing up after that's done. Actually, I'm going to have to run the seeds. Then we're going to start this thing up, and we're going to walk through trying out this product that we've been building. Looks like the seeds are already running for us. Cool beans. Good luck with that. Getting your wife on board is, any wife on board is always the hardest part. All right, let's see. We are on bin dev. Let's run this thing up. Reload it. Boom. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we log in. Nothing else can happen, which is, I guess, what we asked for. Okay, so now we have to set up our Stripe account. Basically, let's restrict the test key with only the read permissions below. The other permission stays none. Account read, payment lanes, payment claims, payment disputes, subscriptions, invoices, charges and refunds, checkout session, ordinary payment lanes. Your organization is merchant of record and owns payments, receipts, taxes, refunds, disputes, and transactions. Manage payments. Stripe Link handles its covered merchant of record duties. Your organization still owns fulfillment, product and license support, outstanding eligibility. I think this is like really confusing. I don't know if we want this in here. Nice, look at that. Okay, so it does check to make sure that someone doesn't put in. I typed in secret key SK instead of RK for restricted key, and it didn't allow it to save it. That is great. Problem is, the restricted keys can still be set as right keys. I wish there was a way that Stripe let us check that, or Stripe explicitly had like a read key type. They don't. It just falls all under this restricted key. So let's do that. Let's do a new sandbox. Now, should be able to have this thing properly guide through setting this up. Hopefully it does that. I don't think it does, so we're gonna have to tweak it to do that. Connect read-only Stripe access and configure assigned webhooks before creating products. Just cancel the playwrights. Create a restricted test key with only the read permissions below. Every other permission stays none. Okay, but I think we need to have a guide on how to do that. Okay, so let's see. I think on the A restricted, we need to have better instructions for how they should do this. Or then strike. What just happened? Those strike docs already. How search the web. I'm pretty sure what we're going to want to do is like go to this URL. Then once they go there, immediately going to say restricted keys. Put in your website or app code to go. I think it's the account read. Yeah, Stripe as an official app. Open Stripe dashboard, go to developers workbench, manage. What? Yes, I think we should put that in there as well. We want to guide the user so they make so this is the easiest it can be for them to set this up. All right, so basically we are having this thing go through and make the whole onboarding process for a user, because they have to go and create a restricted key in Stripe, because I don't want people to manage. I don't want to manage people's Stripe accounts. I don't have anything to do with that. Stripe Connect prevents users from using the managed payments, which is where Stripe handles all the tax compliance stuff for you. And I don't want to, so we're not going to be a marketplace or anything like that. This is purely fulfillment. So when a user buys your macOS app, this website service that we're building right now will get the webhooks from Stripe. We're going to set all that up so it forwards them on, and then it will send your users their license key when they purchase the app. But I do not want to make it super complicated. It should really just be 2 steps to do this for the user to set this up in their Stripe account. So this is where it's going to take some finessing with the agent to get this right. The agent has all this knowledge, and it assumes that users know all these things. So yeah, we just got to get this just right. Takes us to that API keys. Does it take us to test? That's good. This will open the restricted APIs key guide. Nice. Okay, so what I'm seeing is not quite what the instructions say. The developer's workbench. Workbench. API keys, choose manage. And then it says create a restricted key. Okay. Then there's a stream that then see if it gets this. So basically, I went through this whole flow. The Stripe documentation usually is out of date, so I totally respect that. But we should have our app at least guide them through what the actual flow is. And so I went through and I opened up my Stripe account and I went and looked at what the actual options were they need to select. We've got that in here now. Give it over to the agent and it's setting it up. Ready? Then what we're gonna do, so basically now we gotta run through setting this up with Stripe. So we have the instructions where, let's just go through and make sure each one of these is an actual permission that Stripe has and it's not. Okay. So we would set that one to read. Payment links read. Oh, it's updated. Okay. Payment links read. Let's check that one. So do I see payment links on here? I do not. Where is it? Oh, I can type it in here. Okay. Payment links. Checkout sessions read. Yep. For payment intents. Read. Oh, you know what? We should probably have it say the very first thing it should do is there a way to set everything to none first? Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. Wish there was a way to just have it. Stripe doesn't make that easy, do they? I think the very first instruction before they start setting resources to read is they should go down through the page and set every single permission to none first. Then we'll have them go through and set the specific ones they need to read. All right, so it's going to go and it's going to update that. Now, we'll need connect. Oh, just that. All right, so we have connect accounts read. We're gonna have to go through and set this up. I'm gonna go back up. All right, connect accounts read. Payment links read. Checkout sessions read. Or payment links. There is no core payment intensity. Oh, there is. Core. Payment intensity. Okay, so need to be sorted right away. First one should be this core payment intensity. No, payment disputes read is first. Then payment intents. Core charges and refunds. Nope, that's first. Okay. Then billing, invoices, and then we have subscriptions. Invoices, subscriptions. So we did all these, and then we have one of these. Which comes first? Checkout sessions is next. Then we're left. Then it's connect accounts read. And then it's going to finally be, I believe, email links. Yep, then payments. Okay. So what we'll do now is we'll go over this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the exact order in which they're presented to the user on the Stripe page. And so we should tell the user on our page to do them in this order so that it matches. Weird. Yeah, I think I got them all. So it was 4 charges, buttons. So it'll be 4 charges. Payment disputes. Payment intents. Billing invoices. Billing subscriptions. Checkout sessions. Check out connect accounts. Payment links. Perfect. As soon as that finishes. So I think they got these in the right order now. Just double check. You know what? I really don't like that those are displayed in 2 columns like that. I think that we should have them in order in 1 column. On mobile, they're displayed in 1 column, but as soon as I make the window bigger, they are displayed into 2 columns. And when they're in 2 columns, there's no guarantee the user is going to go left to right and keep going down that way. They might just go all the way down the left side, then all the way down the right side, and we don't want them to do that. So let's just make it 1 column. And the column I'm referring to are the things like this. Actual help. Said? No. This is crazy. permissions that they need to select. This is the testing part about this. We literally just go through and do the things, and then, make sure like we're using it as if a user would. We just keep giving the AI feedback until it's perfect. And one day, if we all do this enough, the AI will just do the thing perfectly all on its own. Now they're in one vertical thing. Copy the key, return here, and paste it below. Right? So let me get my key, paste it in here. Update. Paste. Validate read. Stripe read access verify. After the user pastes in their restricted read key, I think we should display like the first three letters after the test are live. So like So that way the user knows which one of their keys is entered in here, and they can like look at their Stripe account and know. We should never ever send back the full key to the user after they've entered it. Just only that 3 letters after like the create a webhook endpoint with the URL and events below, then paste its test mode sign-in secret. Let's see. Which post I consider as power. All right, so let's see. It's saying that in this Stripe account, create a webhook URL. The events below. This is very confusing. So I know that URL, we want them to enter that into the Stripe account, but we're gonna have to fix this too. We're just waiting for this thing to fix the stuff that we told it to fix. It looks like it's finding some other things, possibly from RuboCop linting. Oh. Hmm. I think went way overboard for what it actually needed to do for this, but it's fine. Next thing we have to do is basically go through the webhooks, and I don't know that I have the patience to do that right now. This thing is boring the heck out of me. Sorry, y'all, but I'm going to end the stream here, and we're going to pick this back up on probably Monday. The next thing for us to tackle is the user being onboarded and setting up the webhooks properly. So we'll go through that. I mean, I'm looking at it and it already looks like it's confusing, so I'm going to have to just finesse that with the AI, and we'll go back and forth until we have that super easy, super clean for new users to set up their Stripe webhooks. And after we do that, we'll be good to go. We can actually test this in our test account, and we'll make sure it's all working properly from there. All right, you've all been a great audience. Have an amazing afternoon, and may the tokens forever be in your favor. See you next time.